Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host Nathan P. Butler. We continue this time with our look at the big blitz of stuff for Rise of Skywalker and Skywalker Saga, primarily in this case, Rise of Skywalker. And we've already looked at a lot of this stuff. We looked at everything from the US, we've looked at some things from Australia, it's part of that blitz. We've looked at some stuff from Japan. We have looked at most stuff from the UK, but we do have one more buy and keep copy from the Sky store that's on its way to me, and then we'll take a look at both of those. This time we actually look at a place that we've looked at for the other Disney-era films in the past, but that we haven't looked at anything from for Rise of Skywalker yet, and that is because all of their stuff got released quite a bit later than other parts of the world. The place we're talking about is South Korea, who usually has some pretty cool-looking stuff. And I will say that while I don't feel like their stuff this time was quite as cool as what we saw for Solo, it is still pretty nice. So, we'll start with the most basic, and you'll see that even in the most basic of forms, South Korea stuff looks pretty nice compared to other parts of the world. So we'll start with a DVD-only release of The Rise of Skywalker. That is this. Really nice glossy slipcover there. Got the battle, of course. We see that image all the time on Rise of Skywalker home video stuff, and it always kind of annoys me because Kylo's got his helmet on, which he did not in the film. DVD video symbol down here. And then, of course, we have the title. On the DVDs, we typically see the titles actually written in Korean without English, whereas most of the time, as we will see, you see an English title with just the Korean title underneath it on higher definition formats. Okay? The back. Korean text here about the film. Okay, UPC. Various symbols like Walt Disney, blah, 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 Lucasfilm, Bad Robot, etc. Their content warnings that are all cartoony, which I constantly find amusing. We have the language options, Korean, English, and Portuguese. We have 5.1 surround sound, Dolby Digital. It gives the anamorphic widescreen dimensions and everything. We have subtitles in Korean, English, Portuguese, and Chinese 1 and 2. We have some text here in Korean on both sides. We have the length, etc., etc. Digital sound, DVD, blah, blah, blah. Region 3. And this is a DVD. Region will matter. We have DVD symbol, title straight up in Korean, no English, and Lucasfilm down at the bottom. Essentially the same thing with a different color scheme on the other side because it is continuing that same image. You might say, well, that's kind of cool, but surely underneath it's the same old crap. It's the same old cover image we've seen for DVD over and over again from region to region. Well, yes. Yes, it is. It is still that same old image, except, of course, it has a Korean title. So, DVD down here, Korean title. Spine, similar. DVD, Korean title, Lucasfilm. The back, right there, Korean text about the film, cast crew information in English, and then most of the same symbols you would have seen on the back of the slipcover there. As for inside it, once again, one of these cool inserts, granted, Korean, not English, for those who don't speak Korean. I sure don't. But inside, Korean character profiles for Rey, Kylo Ren, Finn, and Poe. Very nice. Dig those inserts that they have. And then you've got the disc with a different label than we've seen elsewhere. Most regions have that kind of Finn shot of him watching on Pasana, watching the First Order on Pasana. Not the most dynamic of shots. Here, it's that image we've seen over and over and over and over and over again of that quasi-duel that's not quite what it is in the film. Korean title, Korean rating, Region 3, Dolby Digital DVD. Some stats like 142 minutes, color, English, etc., etc. Copyright date of 2019 for the film as opposed to the disc. And then you've got your legalese running around the edge down at the bottom. So, not something you'll play in an American player, but certainly nice looking, and I would say kind of a cool addition to an American or any Star Wars home video library, just because it looks so different and so slick compared to what we see in most regions. I mean, most regions don't even have a slipcover on it, let alone a nice one like that. Let's take it a step up in looking at our stuff from South Korea. What about the Blu-ray release? That is this. Another glossy slipcover, in this case of the art we've seen so many times before. Blu-ray symbol down here. Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, and underneath the Korean title. Again, you see that with the higher definition types here. We then have Blu-ray symbol, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker with Korean title underneath, Lucasfilm. Essentially the same thing on the other side. And the back is going to be our Kylo Ren image, which we saw as part, among other things, of the artwork. I guess it was on, I think it was a Target release over here, maybe in Walmart, but I think a part of the Target release as you're opening up and folding it out. Special features, it says in English, but then it's all written in Korean. Rating stuff, the various symbols again, legalese in Korean, and UPC. Underneath, this is where things get kind of cool, because you would think that underneath is going to be that same old art we've seen over and over again. Well, it is art we've seen over and over again, but not the same as in other regions. It's this image again. So the DVD has this image on the front and this image underneath, right, on the slipcover and then the regular cover. In this case, it's reversed. So we have Blu-ray, Star Wars Rise of Skywalker with Korean title underneath, that same image there. Blu-ray, Star Wars Rise of Skywalker with Korean title underneath, and Lucasfilm. Korean text about the film, cast crew information. We have our various symbols like Blu-ray, etc., etc. Ratings, then our vital stats. Our vital stats, by the way, languages. We have Korean 5.1 Dolby Digital, English 7.1 DTS HD Master Audio, Portuguese 5.1 Dolby Digital. That is, of course, on the regular Blu-ray. The Blu-ray bonus disc is just English 2.0 Dolby Digital. Subtitles on the Blu-ray disc. Korean, English, Portuguese, Chinese 1 and 2, so just like the DVD, I believe. And then Blu-ray bonus features disc, Korean, English for the hearing impaired, Chinese 1 and 2, Portuguese, Spanish, and French. Okay? Inside, we have our discs that look a lot like the American ones. Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, that same image of Rey, Blu-ray, Lucasfilm, feature film, legalese, runtime, Dolby Digital, and region ABC, right? So region free. And then our bonus disc, similar setup to what we've seen elsewhere. Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, Blu-ray, bonus, Dolby Digital, region ABC, so region free, Lucasfilm, and legalese. Inside that clear case, we have the reverse artwork here. Okay, which is nice, or I guess not even artwork, a shot from the film. But then what's cool is that just the regular Blu-ray release has something special in it. Little envelope, Rise of Skywalker there, all in English. You open this thing up, and you have a bunch of art cards. They all say Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker in English with copyright on the bottom. But we've got D-O, BB-8, R2-D2, C-3PO, Chewbacca, what a Wookiee, ba-ba-ba, Rey, Poe, Finn, Lando, and Kylo Ren. And then we have the most elaborate of their releases thus far. I say thus far because, by my knowledge, there's only so far been 2 Blu-ray releases and then the 1 DVD release. There may be more later, but this is by looking at Nova Media, this is by looking at Kimchi DVD, this is by looking at Yes Asia. Those are the only ones that so far seem to exist. I may have missed something somewhere, and I kind of hope that I do, because you don't have any 4K stuff or 3D stuff coming out of South Korea this time around if these are the only releases. And yes, I did just fix my shirt. I hate when it bunches up like that. Ugh. Poor Rocket. Alright, this is their most elaborate release. Now, this is not exclusive to anywhere. You could get it on Kimchi DVD and elsewhere. I got it through Kimchi DVD. Okay, sold out pretty quickly because you'll find it's a Steelbook. So we have our cover here. That looks a lot like the cover art for the Target one with no border. Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker with the Korean text underneath. Not really embossed, just kind of glossy feeling, except for the title, which is embossed. Okay, the top, because this one does have a top, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Notice all English, no Korean underneath here, but it is embossed. Bottom has your vital stats, right? So it's going to tell you your various language options. Interestingly, the text where it tells you what the language options are is written in English, like Portuguese, blah, blah, blah. Same stuff we saw in the previous one, right? But then the actual box that tells you, are we talking spoken audio or subtitles, that's written in Korean. Then some Korean stuff and the copyright date underneath, Blu-ray symbol. And this is by SM Life Design Group. That's who created this particular Steelbook version. The back is going to look a lot like the slipcover to the US 4K release here. Down at the bottom, copyright. The spine, Blu-ray, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, and Lucasfilm. Now inside you will find a Steelbook. Now this Steelbook is designed like the UK one, right? So you get a little bit of embossing to the title, but the title is in English, no Korean. Same cover we've seen over and over again, same back we've seen over and over again. The spine, Lucasfilm, title in English, Blu-ray. That is not like the US one. Remember, US one has the Ultra HD Blu-ray symbol instead. So we have Lucasfilm, title, Blu-ray. That's like the UK one. Okay. Inside, envelope with the same cards again, which is cool. Disc-wise, not a big shock here. Same discs we just saw. Notice no 4K, no 3D. There's the inside of the Steelbook as we've seen. But then also, like the Target version, and like some of the other ones we've seen from South Korea, a gallery book, right? With our Kylo Ren kind of opening down with the Star Destroyer kind of image there with the X-Wing, so kind of like the other cover, but not entirely. We've seen that image previously. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker with special booklet written underneath, also in English. Okay, nothing on the spine. Back is just the Millennium Falcon. But again, it's sort of a guide to the film here. Text primarily in Korean. What's weird to me is that most of the text of the actual part that you're supposed to read is in Korean, but you notice possibly there that the captions for the photos, those are in English. So once again, some very nice looking new releases from South Korea. Again, I'm a little disappointed, no 4K, no 3D this time. I'm hoping those are just coming later, or maybe they're going to be exclusive to somewhere or something, because right now it's kind of surprising we're only looking at Blu-ray or DVD, given that it is 2020. But with that, we will wrap up this episode. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with the home video viewers.